refresh my Facebook. There we are, there we are. Alright, give everybody a minute to join me back on here if you want to. Yeah, I just realized I didn't weed the hole on this, but that won't be a big deal. Alright. Give those of you that want to join a minute to join me back. And then we will get started in just a minute. Starting to kind of get a headache, so I grabbed a quick snack. Wait a minute for y'all to join me. Take a bite of my snack. Let's see, actually, I was going to use my butterflies, but I think I'm going to, well, nah, I'm just going to use my butterflies. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get started, and then I can catch anybody up that needs to if they join in. So the first thing you want to do is you want to match up and see which is the front and which is the back of your blank, okay? So you'll know that it's the front or the back whenever it lines up. So see, this is wrong because it doesn't line up with the design. So whenever you have your design lined up, then you know this is the front because the print will go on the front of your keychain. Hey, Teresa. So, the first thing we'll do is line up your keychain blank. So, put your blank over your print side up. And when it lines up, that's your front. I like to put an F on the front of mine, just so I know that that's the front. I don't screw up and remove the wrong backing. So, that's what we'll start with doing, is marking our front, okay? Because the front will be our last step. So, mark your front. Oh, excuse me. And then once you've got your front figured out and marked, flip it over and remove the paper backing from the back, not the front. Remove the back protective paper. This may take a minute to get up underneath there, but if you can get your fingernail underneath there, or if you use a weeding tool, just be careful so you don't scratch your blank to get it lifted and started. And then just carefully go around one side, pull it away. Try not to get your fingers on that you just uncovered so it stays nice and clean, and no oils from your skin are gonna make any of the resin repel, okay? So, figure out your front, mark it if you want, and then remove the back cover. Let me see if I can zoom y'all in just a hair because well, it won't let me right now. Okay, it's okay. Okay, Teresa? Are you and Mia ready to move on? I know that you've done keychains before too, but just want to make sure I don't leave anybody behind. Okie doke. Alright, cool. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my UV resin and I'm going to put some in a mixing cup. I'll probably do about 5 mLs approximately. I usually don't measure, I just pour it in and go, that looks okay. So, for the sake of training y'all, or teaching y'all, yeah, I'm going to have to get me some more UV resin in this bottle after I get off of here. So I'm going to put my UV resin in a mixing cup. Actually, I'm gonna go about 7.5 mLs because by the time I put my glitter in, I don't want it to be too chunky. I think that's okay. Almost there. Where is my 7.5 line up? Okay. Alright, so this is 7.5 mLs. That's where we're going to start. We can always add a little more UV resin if we need to, but that's where I'm going to start with, okay? And then I've decided I'm going to use Silver Twinkle. And I'm okay with adding a little more to the UV resin than I did my epoxy for my cup because I want it to be a little more solid on the back of my keychain. So, add a spoon of that. I'm gonna add some butterflies. Some of our butterfly mix. And then we're gonna mix it together. You want it good and mixed. Let's see. May have to add just a little more UV resin. I think I got too many butterflies because it's more of a globby mess instead of a liquid like I need it. So I'm gonna add just a little more UV resin to thin this back out because I want it to lay nice and flat. I don't want it to be a globby gloopy mess. I'm just going to add a tiny bit more UV resin. Come on. I know, you're almost empty. Work with me. Work with me. Come on now. Is too empty. Let's see. Here's my other one. I'm not adding a whole lot, just enough to give it a little more liquidity. Make it a little more liquid than like gloopy, globby, yucky. I like that consistency much better. Much better. Because it is still kind of gloopy globbing off of my thing where the butterflies are kind of falling off. But you can see in the cup where it flattens out and levels out much faster. So, okay, so that's kind of what you want. Once you have your mix ready, you're going to take and you're going to pour it on the back side of your keychain, but you're just going to kind of pour it in the middle. Adding that extra made me have too much, but it's okay. Pour it in the middle and then you work it to your edges, okay? You don't want to pour your UV resin all the way to the edge, because what happens then is you get globs going over the edge and then you have to clean up all those edges. And it's easier if you just work it to the edge after applying it to the middle. When you get to the hole of the keychain, just carefully work around it, slowly pulling some of that UV resin mix over the top of the keychain hole so that way it's not blank. And then easily and carefully to the edges. If you have any butterflies sticking over like that one is, just kind of pushing back and make it flush with the edge of your keychain blank. Have some patience when you're doing this part, because you just want to slowly and easily pull it to the edges. Not too fast, so you don't have a bunch of globs over the edge that you got to clean up. And when you're doing this, if you feel like you're running out and you need to add some more, add it to the center and work it out again. Don't add it to the edge, okay? And I'm just going to add like a scoop because I feel like my center is really starting to thin out. So just add it to that center and work it to the edge. And once you've got all your edges, all your glitter all the way to all your edges, I usually let it set for just a minute to make sure it kind of levels back out. And then as soon as that does, hit it with your heat light or your UV light, okay? I still have quite a bit left in my cup from where I had to add more to mine. So I'm going to block it so it doesn't cure with my light here in just 1 second. If you have a cup that you can set over it, that would be better. I don't have any in here. I have some at home that I keep on hand. But I don't want that UV resin to cure because that's a waste. I don't like it. I don't like wasting. So, once you've got it on there, it's nice and level. Go ahead and hit it with your heat light or UV light. Try to block all angles of that. And I'm going to set my light over here. Face it away from that cup. So, once you've got it applied all the way to the edges and it's leveled out, go ahead and heat it and cure that side. If you have the push button, I usually do a couple of rounds of the 120, which ends up being about 4 minutes. This one, like I did earlier to seal our snow globe, I'm just going to do it for a couple of minutes because it's a lot stronger than the little, the glitter guy one. And those are good, don't get me wrong, but this one's just stronger. It doesn't take as long to cure. And I like mixing the glitter into my UV resin to do this process just because it makes it already all mixed in, makes it nice and flat, nice and smooth on the back. We don't have a bunch of lumps and bumps and stuff, and you don't have to go back over it and cure and cure and cure again. Perfect. All right, there is that part. Teresa, let me know how y'all are doing on that part. I'm gonna get a wipe to clean up. Right in front of my face. And a little bit on my finger. Got it cleaned off. There we go. Still curing. Okay, not a problem. You go ahead and cure and just, excuse me, let me know when you are ready and we can move to the front. Cute, super cute. Let's see, do I have? See what I might have over here that I can use this other resin in. Maybe. Let's see if I can put it in the spacer parts for this one. This isn't a clear mold, so I'm hoping I can get enough light in here to cure this. Usually you want to use UV resin in clear molds, not colored molds, but I don't have any more or any clear molds up here. And I don't want this to go to waste, so. I'm gonna try. Alrighty, got that one. So let's see. Maybe we can get it in this side. There we go. Okay, we'll throw that in the trash. We'll clean off this stir stick and then I'll cure this right quick. Hopefully it can get all the way through and cure that. Maybe a little sticky on the other side, so what I may have to do is take them, pop them out after I get this cured as much as I can, and cure the other side. But typically, you just want to use clear molds when you use UV resin in a mold. But I do not like wasting epoxy or resin. Done. Okay, cool. So now what we're going to do next, if y'all want to go ahead, we're going to remove this front cover and we're going to get this ready, get it ready to put this on. I'm going to grab my stand, hang on one second. These are the stands. Teresa, I know you got one in our TumblerCon bag, but These are the stands that Tumblr Shield sells for these lights. And you just put it right up there and it cures what you got underneath it. You ain't gotta hold it. So that's that. I'm gonna let that do that while I do this. Alright, so I'm gonna pull the front cover off. Same way we pulled the back cover off. If you have to use a weeding tool or whatever, just be careful. Don't scratch your blank. Again, try not to touch it so you don't get any oils from your fingers on there, okay? And then this piece here already has the transfer tape on it. So if you lift up the edge, you can see the transfer tape. So turn it over, pull this paper backing away. I'm hoping I weeded y'all's, but I forgot to weed mine apparently. But it's got the little keychain hole in here. If yours still has it, just go ahead and remove that right quick, please. Thought I got everything, but I obviously did not. Okay. Alright, so once you've got that, got your backing off, remove that hole, you're going to line it up with your keychain blank. Now, I do make my keychains to where it has a slight offset around it. So, get it lined up to where you have the same amount of space around your vinyl all the way around the edge. Let me press mine on and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so you can kind of see where it's got a gap between the vinyl and the edge of the blank all the way around. You want to put it on whenever you've got it about an even gap all the way around there. I'll raise it up a little bit more, see if y'all can see that. That's what you want it to be. Okay, so get that on and then let me know when it's on. Turn it over, see if I can penetrate with that, maybe, possibly, I don't know. When it's on and you've got your transfer tape removed, let me know. I think I saw your little thumbs up pop through. Okay, so for this one you can do two things. You can just do straight clear right out of your epoxy bottle or right out of the UV resin bottle onto your blank if you want to. I'm going to put a little bit more in my mixing cup, and I'm going to add some of my, okay, cool. I'm going to add some of my Silver Twinkle, just a tiny bit to go over the top of this, just to give the top a little sparkle. So I'm going to turn off this, open up my UV resin, and put enough in here to cover the top. Let's see where we're at. See what kind of measurement I got on this one. So this one we've got about 2.5 mLs is where I stopped. And then just a tiny touch of our Silver Twinkle here. Doop. Give her a mix. Not putting any butterflies in this top layer because I want to be able to see my decal. So just the tiniest touch of Silver Twinkle. Mix that in. And then once you've got this mixed, you're just going to do the exact same thing we did on the back, except for this UV resin mix doesn't have butterflies in it if you mixed yours, okay? If you didn't mix it straight from the bottle, you would just apply your clear UV resin to the center, just like I'm doing with this, and you would just work the clear out to the edges, okay? just carefully, slowly work it from the center out to the edge, all the way around. Add that little bit of twinkle in here, made it really have that sparkle. I really like that. Just kind of gives it that finishing touch. Who doesn't want a little sparkle in their life? And then the same as the back, once you get it all on here, you get it smooth, get it pulled out to your edges, go ahead and get it cured. And a couple of bubbles in there, we don't want bubbles. I haven't found a way to not get any teeny tiny little bubbles, but I don't want big bubbles. Don't like big bubbles. Alright. I think that helped. Okay, I've got a little bit of this left, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour it into one of these butterfly side pieces in this mold and cure it in here, because these are not super thick. May not have enough to do it, but it is UV resin, so I can go ahead and mix it up right quick and get it in here, but again, I don't like to waste, so I'm gonna put that in here. I'll come back. I'm gonna go ahead and mix up just a tiny bit just to fill up this butterfly mold, because I can't use it if it's just half a piece. But if you got yours all cured or all leveled and evened and spread out, go ahead and start curing it. Just gonna mix up enough to hopefully do this rest of this butterfly mold, and then get this under the light. spoonful. Spread that out. And a little spoonful, a little scoopful of my stir stick. This is just a little straw topper mold that I've got. I don't remember if I got this one from Maple Street Supply or if I got this one from Amazon, but it's just a straw topper mold. This one is actually a 4-piece, so it's got a front and a back, and then it's got your side pieces to connect the front and back. It's super cute. I like this little butterfly mold. Hopefully I can get enough just to finish the tip of this wing up here. We'll get everything cured. And then really after you're cured, all we gotta do is attach the hardware and you should be good. Alright, toss that in the trash. And slide this one under. Oh, darn. Hang on. My fingers caught the top edge instead of the side that I was shooting for. Oh, please. Because I don't want to cure the UV resin on my fingers. Cured it on my hand before and that was not fun. Alright. Smooth those edges back out. Okay, wipe this off. Now this time let's make sure we get the edge and not the top. And get it scooted under there. That under there. And then we're going to turn it on and let that cure. How's it going, Teresa? How are you and Mia doing? Did you get your front cured? Working on it? Let me know. May need some pliers to put this ring on. Well, you're going to. I say may need. You will. Done. Okay, cool. Yay. Make sure y'all post pictures of your finished or your in progress cups is cool too. And your finished keychains when we get done in the group. I love seeing everybody's finished projects. Maybe just another smidge because it's still just a touch tacky and I don't want it tacky. You know what? I think my pliers walked out of here. Okay, I'm gonna go grab me a pair of pliers to connect this. I'll be right back. have 2 needle nose pliers, but I don't know where the other needle nose went, so. Alright. So I will say some keychain blinks that I've been doing lately, they only have 1 ring. This last set actually came with an extra ring to put down here. But if you happen to get a set that only has 1 ring, all you need to do is take this off of this big ring part and put this chain link onto here instead of the circle part, and then you've got your ring to attach your keychain to. So I don't know why some do and some don't come with this extra ring, but anyway. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your ring, the loose ring that I included, in that last keychain or chain link. Blah, I cannot call it what it is today. And then you're going to put that through the hole in your keychain. And then you're going to grab one side of that and then the other side of that ring. And this is why you want to use needle nose. Just twist it and line them back up. So your keychain is together. So there we go. That's what it should look like. And your keychain is finished. So super cute, super quick. They don't take a lot of time, which is nice. I like using the acrylic blanks because they don't take a lot of time to do, but sometimes it's not always a possibility. I'm going to throw that back under there because the light couldn't get to the other side, so it's a little tacky, but there we go. Put all those under there. But even if you are making, a mold with your keychain blank or whatever, it's kind of the same thing I just did with that. You would just pour it and then you could decorate it. You could put vinyl on it and then clear coat it with the top with your UV resin, just like we did this. I would say y'all could get your blanks from us, but with us not selling or not having the store anymore, we really won't be having a bunch of them. But I know Third Degree Laser, she has a lot of cute ones, and she's been experimenting and coming out with some cute blanks lately, some different sets and things like that. So I would definitely recommend her. She is a super, super sweet lady. So Third Degree Laser has very cute blanks and stuff too that you could get. Amazon has some basic ones, some circles, some squares, some hearts, and things like that. So even those is an option for you to get. But this one I actually designed and cut and everything myself on my laser here. So this one's a me only design. But anyway, I hope y'all had fun. I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know if you have any questions, and of course I will answer you. Just put that hashtag replay so I know it's a question I didn't answer, even though in this one we didn't really have questions in the live, but that's okay. So I'm gonna hop off here. My cup is still turning. It's been about an hour, so that first layer is probably set enough where I can turn my turner off, but it still needs another hour before I can put another layer on. So once that happens, I'm going to get another layer on, and then hopefully maybe today I can go live on how to put the spinners on. But anyway, I will touch back with y'all in a little while. Bye y'all. Have a good afternoon.